Even before I was graduating, you have the nerves. You are like, I don't know how my life is gonna look like. I think you're always conflicted. Should I go back home? Should I stay in Canada?
So since graduating, I moved back home to Trinidad and Tobago.
I'm going from London to Germany to uni. It's going to be a great weekend.
I went for a test writing, English language test. It's actually not the first time I took it, and I just got my score from that test. I didn't get the highest score again. Actually, it kind of makes me doubt myself whether I can actually speak or read any English.
It does feel like winter now. Just wanted to let you know it's definitely getting really cold, and I'm proud of myself for working in this weather.
This is like one of the best things about postgrad life. I can just do whatever social activity I want to at any time. I'm living for all these moments of like freedom and not have to worry about assignments afterwards.
In the Indian kitchen, we use a pressure cooker. So I always thought of my head as a pressure cooker that is it's building up, and if I don't say it, one day it's gonna pop.
Hi, my name is Tara and I studied Master of Management of Innovation at U of T. I was a class of 2020. Then I moved to the UK. I live in London now. It's been almost 2 years since I lived here. U of T actually made it possible to move to the UK because UK introduced a high potential individual visa, and one of the main qualifications was that you had to be a graduate of top 50 universities in the world, which U of T is, of course. So that made it possible for me to move to the UK.
My name is Mary Rebecca Reyes, and I am a 2022 graduate of the Art and Art History Specialist Program with the University of Toronto, Mississauga and Sheridan College. I am now a CEO and founder of my own business, A Daddygrams Ren. It is named after my artist, sign painter grandfather. It has a foundation of 3 pillars. One is artistic production, alignment advising, and artistic education and encouragement.
Hi everyone, my name is Tudeen and I'm an international student from Jamaica. Now I graduated in 2023. I was glad to do convocation in person because it was my first in-person convocation. Aside from academics, I also volunteered a lot. So I was a part of a few groups that were planning social events. I was a residence advisor, and now I still live in the city in Toronto, and I work at the Center for Addiction and Mental Health. I'm a research analyst, and I work on brain imaging studies for people with schizophrenia.
My name is Kristen. I graduated from University of Toronto in June 2023. I was enrolled under the Roman Commerce program and specialized in management. Now I'm working full-time as a human resource specialist in a multinational company located in the States. I was born and raised in China, Xinjiang, northwest province in China. And I came to Canada when I was 15 years old.
So my name is Gulpreet Abral, and I use pronouns she, her. I am coming from India, from the beautiful city Mumbai, and I call myself a city girl. That's why I choose to stay in Toronto only. I don't think I can do the suburbs at all. I came here 5 years ago in 2019 to pursue my undergrad. And I think Canada truly captured my heart. I think every aspect of it. And I have decided to just be here and create a life for myself over here.
Hi everyone, my name is Maria Guadalupe, but everyone calls me Lupita. I'm a grad student at OIC, which is the Ontario Institute for Studies in Education, part of U of T. And I'm studying a master in developmental psychology and education. So during my time in U of T and OIC specifically, they did these events called BIPOC events, which are meant to create community for Black, Indigenous, and people of color. And they usually do arts and crafts. As a coaster, it's shaped as a Mexican flag. This was completely on purpose because I wanted to make something unique. I use it literally every day.
I was really looking forward to returning to Trinidad and Tobago after graduation. That was always my plan. I have an intentionality behind experiencing the beauty of my island. So I make an effort to go on adventures and see all of the different beaches, all the different hikes I can go on, the different trails, so that when my friends come over from Canada to visit me, I'm able to show them with this deep sense of love and appreciation of my island. I really do believe I can live anywhere in the world, but at the end of the day, who wouldn't want to live here?
I am going to a celebration of the Day of the Dead. Dia de los Muertos in Mexico. It's about embracing death and family, and usually I go to my grandma's house. This year I'm not in Mexico and I'm kind of missing it a lot. I'm going to the celebration. I don't know what to expect, but I'm really excited.
So today is December 21st, is also the traditional Chinese festival called Dongzhi. Dongzhi literally, it means winter arrives. Dongzhi. Back at home, me and my family, we often celebrate this festival by making tons of dumplings together. But now since I'm in Toronto by myself, so I don't bother making dumplings myself. I'd rather just buy some frozen dumplings from the market. And while I'm having my dumplings, I also had a video call with my parents. We have like an old saying back at home: make sure you eat dumplings on the day of Dongzhi so your ears won't freeze off.
One of the things I wanted to ensure I did after I graduated was take a long enough break from school, because I felt really burnt out after fourth year. Not a complete break, because I did, or I'm working now and I'm working in my field, but I wanted to take a break from academic as a whole. I do want to go back to school to be a clinical psychologist. It has always been a passion of mine since like the 9th grade, but every now and then I'll get some doubts about, do you really want to do this, or is there another pathway to do what you want to do? But I think that's just fair, because I have a fear of failure and a fear of not getting in.
As I was graduating, I kept thinking that, my security blanket is being taken away from me. What is my community now? And for me, university was that the Scarborough campus has such a great community feeling. I think they just had a great international student population. As I got that job, I was like, okay, maybe this is the place where I can rely on. This is the community that I can build. But still, there was still anxiety, anxiousness, a lot of nervousness. I graduate, a very proud moment for my family, for me, because after my brother, I was the second person in my family to, have a post-secondary education. It is a big thing. I graduate and, I thought, okay, I'm just gonna get to work and life's gonna be all chill, but nah. It was a 360-degree turn. Now I had all of this time to myself. It was rough waters, I would say. At first, I struggled for months at end. And at the same time, I was missing home a lot. And I did not want to go home because I was waiting for my work permit. And by that time, I had decided that, okay, I really want to call this land my home. So I want to spend as much as time as I can over here to be able to get my permanent residency and then my citizenship. And I think your 20s is such an odd time. What am I doing? I think the crisis is so real.
I think the biggest topic of my life is whether I really want to spend my rest of my life in Canada. Every time I try to think of an answer and I just couldn't. And there are a lot of times that I doubt myself. Do I have to be in Canada? Do I have to work in Toronto after I graduated? Why couldn't I just go back home and stay with my family? So every time I doubt myself, the first person I would reach out to is always my mom. I had this conversation with my mom after I received the score for my CELPIP test. I was like, I just don't get the points of why I'm trying so hard to get that permanent residency. My mom was saying, so getting a permanent residency is not the final goal of my life, but it's more like give me a second options. And that's just what worth the most, ability of choosing between two options and not everyone has the chance to choose. And that really empowers me and also emphasize the reason that I wish to keep working in Canada.
So I actually remember having a conversation with one of my friends, and we were talking about like just the difficult situation of being in school. And she told me, don't worry, Mary Rebecca, this isn't going to be the thing that breaks you. The reality is, I've survived 100% of my worst days. I really do take that with me as something that I've learned about myself, for sure.
I think finding your first job in Canada is always the most challenging. At least it was for me. When I was looking for opportunities after graduation, I was applying to job after job and either not getting any response or just getting a generic rejection email. I probably applied to about 100 jobs and I was finally able to get some offers, and then after that, I had to choose basically what I wanted to do.
And when I walked on the stage for graduation, like I was really happy. I was like, yeah, I made it. I was like, oh, still no job. Applying for my work permit, I actually took into like a random job offer, and the position was not what I'm actually interested in. I worked for that role in 2 weeks and I quit. I didn't have like another job offer after that. So I immediately started underground job searching until I got accepted from the job I'm working right now.
When I was a student, there was a lot of question marks in my mind in terms of what my future is going to be, and I still have some of those questions in my mind. I'm still not sure about my future. I don't know which country I decide to live in, but I think I've learned to take it slow. Do not expect myself to know all of the answers, because nobody knows all of the answers. And just trust myself that any challenge that comes up in the future, I will be able to get over it.
Growing up, I grew up in a business family. My father has a restaurant, so his whole life was about making money and providing for his kids and getting up to that mark, and always like working hard. It was mostly about the money. As I grew up as a kid, and I think for me it was the opposite. As I was growing up, whenever people asked me like what I want to do and where I want to go, I used to be like, I want to help people.
My mom had my sister and I when she was really young, so she didn't get to like have a higher education because of it. That's important identity-wise, because she always encouraged me to like explore and live and do all of these things that she wasn't allowed to do. That's the reality of many people, a lot of like systematic barriers against them. I have this mindset of me being able to change the world, and sometimes the world seems like it's not going to change, and that my impact is like a short impact. Being connected to this kind of like background and communities sometimes makes it hard to like see the light at the end of the tunnel, I think imposter syndrome is something I've been experiencing since I arrived here. I talk a lot about identity because I didn't realize it was that important until I came here. I arrived and there's not a lot of people who look like me. I felt like kind of this lack of representation, and that makes me wonder like, well, there's a reason why they're not here, and there's a reason maybe that I shouldn't be here. Then I always like bring myself back, like, no, like there's a reason you're here, your effort got you here.
Another big thing I really want to work on is just contributing back to my home country, Jamaica. One of the things that I was very big on before I came here was just advocating for just a better appreciation of mental health in the country. It's not as far as it needs to be, and I definitely want to play a role in getting it there.
Later today, I'm going to have a meeting with my mentor, who I actually connected with through the University of Toronto Mississauga's mentorship program. And even after that mentorship program, which finished months ago, we still stay in touch and we still work with each other as I journey through this process of being a CEO of my business. Today, it really is focusing on fostering those friendships and relationships that I've built with members of the U of T community as they relate to my work and my practice.
I have 2 more work days to go before I can start my holiday vacation. Yay! Guatemala is a country in Latin America. The process for applying their visitor visa was not really smooth, but finally we got a visa before we departed. The upcoming trip, I've been hiking and camped on a active volcano. I do not work out regularly, so I'm afraid that I might not be able to climb to the top. And this is crazy. I'll never do this again. Traveling around is definitely something that brings me a lot of joy.
Oh my god.
Behind me is the Munich residence, which is basically like a palace castle in Germany, and it's one of the biggest in-city palaces. I usually just like these historical places. The reason I enjoy them is I just feel when you learn about history and the people who have lived here, you just notice that now we're living in a very different world with technology, with everything that's happening, and it just amazes me that our lives now is so much different than like 500 years ago. Life is what you make it. I would have tried to join more clubs, to get to know more people, to just use all of these facilities that the university gives us to build connections and really to use what I have access to.
One piece of advice that I would give to graduates is to definitely be engaged with the alumni community. You know, it's something that you take with you for the rest of your life, and really the alumni community is what you make it. It's really an experience that I encourage everyone as a graduate to have and to benefit from.
It is very nerve-wracking to be all of you and, you know, show all your parts to people around you. Be patient with yourself. I think it's going to take time. It's not easy for you to leave your homeland and come to this new place. So I think give yourself more credit.
I remember I would stress a lot about my courses and my assignments and my grades overall. And I remember if I were to do poorly on an assignment or poorly on a midterm, which poorly is relative because thinking back it wasn't as serious, I would equate that to failing the course and failing school and then failing in life. Enjoy the moment while it's here. There are moments when I could have absorbed it more. I think the stress of being in school took away from enjoy the fact that I'm doing the thing that I wanted to do.
Moving to Canada and trying to like live my own for these years actually strengthens my adaptability and also my appreciation to diversity. U of T also taught me the importance of figuring out your own way instead of comparing with others or looking at others' glory moments.
I'm more open-minded than I was before. I've learned to be with people that are different than me. If you stick to people that are different to you, you end up learning a lot and you end up developing this sense of empathy and acceptance.
It's going to be funny because, like, you know, after 4 years you're going to look back and you're going to be like, I wish I was more easygoing. I wish I give myself more credit. I wish that I was my true self.
Sometimes you have to create your own community. Like, it doesn't come like automatically because you're here.
If you engage with it, it will engage with you.
I've started playing piano since I was 8, and I stopped playing it after I came to Canada because I couldn't bring a piano to Canada with me. This year I bought my first official piano. It's just kind of weird because when I was a child, I hate piano so bad, and something that I feel special is that when I actually set up the piano at the home,
which I call home, I feel like, oh, this condo unit makes me feel like actual home for a moment.